Oh, you?
I refuse to let them say we're late. We got in at 9. We got
That's
in
right.
at 9.
Not late.
Not late.
Not late.
Actually, you guys are late.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the problem.
I'm going to write you up.
Ooh, send them to detention.
Detention, which is cleaning the roof full of soccer balls.
Ooh. Oh, I got gutter people coming today. Speaking of
gotta clean the gutters.
cleaning the roof.
You
Hope they don't come during the show, but if they do, I think they just arrived.
Did they
I'm
really?
gonna play the intro. You're carrying the show. Tell
I'll carry it. Oh, baby. I did. I caught it. We here. We steer you in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. I'm Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Folks, hello. Good morrow. How are we doing? It is, it's a time. And you know what? You would think that maybe there's not a lot going on in the NFL, but finally, I'm excited to talk about this one story today in which the title is based off of, because 30 out of the 32 second-round picks from this year's draft have yet to sign a contract, and it's getting a little bit late now, so we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about even more stuff with the collusion going on with the NFL and the NFLPA and about guaranteed money. We're going to talk about all that stuff today. You saw Judkins, the running back for the Cleveland Browns. He got arrested on a misdemeanor for domestic violence, and so that's throwing some things up there. Juwan Jennings wants a new contract. And, of course, Trey Smith for the Chiefs. They got to sign him to a long-term deal as well, and we'll see what happens with that. Can we change Perna's name? Absolutely, we can. Please hold on 1 second. Oh, my goodness. The super chats are flying in. Please hold on 1 second. Yes, John Cena is at the show. That's true. It's true. Oh, Takeshita Io Sky MVP of Wrestling Weekend. Yeah, listen, I know this is not football related, but good God, what a feast for wrestling fans. Not Saturday Night Main Event. That was just tragedy and sadness. But All In, Evolution last night. Come on now. It's so good. Perna might be pooping on the roof. Yes. Brandon Perna, in case you're just tuning in, apparently you had gutter people coming today, and they just arrived. So, hold on. Got it. We know that. Yeah, it should be a yearly show and not something that's half-assed booked, and it's just like, oh, okay, we'll give them 2 weeks. But a huge shout out to all the wrestlers who absolutely crushed it last night. It was so freaking good, man. But yeah, I was in Texas. I flew in. I have gotten like no sleep, but we left at like 7 a.m. We had a 7 a.m. flight out on Friday to go to Texas for All In. Did all that. We had to get up and like be at the stadium at like 8:30 in the morning on Saturday. We were there for almost 12 hours. Then we wound up catching a flight at 6 a.m. yesterday. When I landed, I was here for a little bit, then went to go see Superman, and now we're here now. And now we're here. Oh, and I got to check out the main event of Evolution. I didn't get to check out the rest of it, though. I saw the end of the Battle Royale. So, yes, coming in with this John Cena costume is... yeah, sorry, Rockies. Sorry. Not good. It's not good. But Perna will be back. Don't you worry. But, yes, we do have a lot to talk about in terms of the NFL, because there's a lot. I was waiting about this second round story just because I wanted just some more information to see how long this was going to go. But it's pretty crazy. So in case you haven't heard about this, which I wouldn't be super surprised because it hasn't been amplified a ton. There were some articles that were published this past weekend, but other than that, it's been kind of quiet, which makes a lot of sense because I imagine that they don't want this to become a huge story. But yeah, only 2 second-round picks from this year's draft have signed contracts with their respective teams. And so the first was wide receiver out of for the Texans. So their second pick in the second round gave him a fully guaranteed contract. And so the Cleveland Browns turned around and said, okay, well, we'll give our first pick in the second round a fully guaranteed contract. And in terms of fully guaranteed money, this is the first time ever that you're going to have second rounders getting fully guaranteed contracts. Now, of course, with our first round picks, you still have Shemar Stewart, who's still holding out because of language within his contract. But the only other first round pick that is still holding out and has not signed a contract is Jahdae Barron of the Denver Broncos. And so we're kind of waiting to see what that's going to look like. We'll see the stuff with Shemar Stewart, if that's going to be rectified. But this is kind of a larger issue that's going on with the NFL, because you have 30 players who are saying, no, we are holding out until we either get better contracts or we get fully guaranteed contracts. And like I just said, the fact that you haven't had a fully guaranteed second round contract except for this year, you're starting to set a new standard. And so we're going to talk about this today. And, whenever Perna comes back, I want to talk about this today and why that is happening. Is it NIL? Is it the fact that they're making money in college? And so it's not like, oh, this is the first time that I actually get to make money. I'm just so thankful to be getting an NFL contract. It's like, no, well, now I'm making money in college and I want to make sure that I'm getting the best deal possible. So we got some stuff going on there, which is, considering we have the collusion thing that's going on with the NFL. And of course, again, just to be very clear, the judge ruled that there wasn't enough evidence for collusion, but more information is coming out about the NFLPA, that they informed players about this. And just to recap a little bit, back in the good old days, and by good old days, I mean, when the Cleveland Browns were like, hey, let's screw our franchise up, and giving Deshaun Watson all of the money, a fully guaranteed contract, that kind of set a precedent for the NFL that other owners did not like. And so there was some communication between NFL owners to make sure that the guaranteed money that they were going to be offering players was going to be lower. This wound up going into court, and they said, hey, there wasn't enough evidence. They were definitely talking about it, but there wasn't enough evidence to suggest collusion. Now you had what came out last week, that apparently people within the NFLPA, which is the Players Association, which is the union that the players belong to, that they were very unhappy with leadership and that they potentially wanted to oust their leadership. You had the executive committee come out today and basically said, no, that's false. They don't want to oust their leadership, and instead they have full confidence. And so it just seems like the timing of both of these stories is very interesting. You have a case where, hey, there's at least conversations about collusion and saying that maybe the NFL owners are not doing the best by their players and trying to reduce guaranteed money, which again, I feel like that story in of itself was pretty obvious, considering that NFL owners don't want to pay a ton of money. I mean, hell, look at the fields right now and the fact that they're not all grass. But on top of that, just wanting to keep those salaries like as low as possible, or at least the guarantees as low as possible. So in case of injury or bad performance, they don't have to shell out all this money. And on top of that, now you have basically 30 out of the 32 second round draft picks who are also holding out for more money. It's creating a very interesting scenario here in the NFL. And yeah, there's a lot going on. And yes, Contract, Hangman did do it. We are going to talk about football, but wrestling, good God, man. Freaking what a show. What a freaking show. Oh, dude, I feel so bad for Seth Rollins. I feel so bad for Seth Rollins. Now, apparently, it's not confirmed, what the extent of the injury is, but Triple H came out and said that it's not good. And honestly, like, this is a larger problem with Saturday Night Main Event, right? That they're glorified house shows, and the matches don't even, are not really given any time. The wrestlers aren't going full speed, which makes sense, right? They don't want to risk injury because you have stuff like this happen. And so now, unfortunately, you have Seth Rollins, who's a major player in the NFL, good God, in WWE. And this is going to screw up a huge chunk of their plans going forward if he's significantly hurt. So that's it. Misspelled. Well, blame that on Perna. I spelled it correctly in the rundown. Right, Perna, I'm throwing Perna right under the bus, but I will fix it on mine and not fix it on Perna. So then just say that again, just so he could. Yeah, he put an A instead of a Q. Okay, it's close. It's close. Oh, we almost got there. It's fine. Okay. Appreciate that. Yeah, he's still not here. No, well, I'll carry the show the entire time. That's totally fine. Sorry for the people that hate me over on Perna's channel. Sorry. You can exit and then come back if you really wish to. So, yeah. Browns and Texans throwing hands. So here's the thing, Simeon. So it makes sense because the Texans going out and saying, all right, so let me kind of set the stage for this story here, because this came out, I think it was yesterday, that Chargers wide receiver Tre Harris is holding out, and he's officially holding out until he gets, either a fully guaranteed deal or at least mostly guaranteed money. And it's kind of like a byline that they're like, oh yeah, also 30 out of the 32 players in the second round are also holding out. But basically what wound up happening is Jaden Higgins, who was the wide receiver that the Texans drafted second in the second round, They gave him a fully guaranteed contract, which again was the first time since ever. This is the first time that they've ever given a second rounder a fully guaranteed contract. And so for the Cleveland Browns, they basically had to do it because they had the first pick in the second round. And so because of that, they turned around and said, okay, let's go and make sure that that's a fully guaranteed contract as well. And so you had the first two teams in the second round give their guys fully guaranteed contracts, but every other player, that includes the Packers, that includes everybody else, the Steelers, no, because I don't think they had any. The Bears, I think, had what, 2 or 3 second round picks. But yeah, none of the other picks have signed. And so they're kind of just all holding out together, which of course there is strength in numbers. So I'm very curious how this is going to play out. And Brandon Perna's back.
Whew.
Boom.
Thank you guys for the super chats while I was gone and not even here.
There you go. Newborn, I'm so very sorry to hear about your brother, my friend.
My life.
Cheers to your brother, Newborn. I'm very sorry to hear that. I wish you and your family nothing but just peace and love, my friend. That's it. I'm very sorry to hear that. Perna, did you get your gutter people?
Yeah. We're getting some real work done on the gutters. So
what kind of work?
It's a big day. I got to get part of them replaced and some drainage stuff fixed. Fun stuff you're going to learn about when you are on your own home. Can't
wait. Kevin, I appreciate you.
Looking at problems like that and thinking, maybe it'll just fix itself.
I feel like that's a very, I don't want to generalize, but I feel like that's also like, we'll just leave the problem and eventually it'll go away.
It'll
right?
get better.
Like,
yeah.
It's fine. My knee, my back, like all the health problems. If I just magically don't do anything about it, they're obviously going to get better.
Yeah. So no, they just get worse over time. They get worse.
So Perna, we were setting the stage for this. We're talking about the main part of the show, or at least a question that was formed here about the 30 out of 32 draft picks in the second round holding out. This is like I was explaining, like this is kind of something that has been there's like been pieces of information, but it hasn't been like widely publicized, which makes sense because I'm sure that you don't want this narrative running in the NFL that you're going to have 30 players that are holding out in the second round. And I'm curious as to like why you think this is happening. You have the first 2 picks in the second round who are getting fully guaranteed contracts. As I mentioned before, this is the first time ever that this has happened. And so now you're having the rest of the second round prospects who are saying, no, we want fully guaranteed money, or at least close to fully guaranteed money.
Sure.
Why do you think this is? Do you think this is NIL, the fact that they're actually making money, in college, as opposed to, hey, this is the first time that I'm actually getting money. Hey, I might even be pressured or incentivized to join the NFL sooner rather than later, right? And not finish out my collegiate career because I want to start actually making money because I haven't been making diddly squat this entire time. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I don't think it has much to do with NIL money, but I could be wrong. I think it's I think every pick through the first 3 rounds should be fully guaranteed. I think those are premium picks for NFL teams. I think they've gotten away with underpaying them for a little bit too long now. I think was it Houston that gave the first fully guaranteed?
Yes.
And then Cleveland. Here, let me pull up this page.
So Higgins was the second overall pick in the second round for the Texans, and they gave him a fully guaranteed contract, which is the first time ever. So Cleveland, having the first pick in the second round, were like, well, we kind of have to do this too. And they gave their linebacker a fully guaranteed contract. And those are the only 2 second rounders who are signed right now.
Yeah. So I think Judkins just kind of hindered his chances of possibly getting the fully guaranteed.
So that's a part of it too, right? Because if all the other folks are holding out, Judkins might, depending on, what's going to happen with that. And the league said that they are aware of it. He got arrested on misdemeanor for domestic violence. Depending on what his status is, if he's going to be playing, right, he might be more willing to say, yeah, I'll just take the contract. Because
I think he'll be ready to sign whatever they present to him.
Which may, but I got to say, though, like having 30 out of 32, like that is a huge number.
Yeah. So I think Houston just high on Jaden Higgins. And they also, I think the Texans know Higgins has a really good chance to play quite a bit for them. They lost Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell's not going to play this year because of injury. So I feel like the Texans kind of just did right by Jahdae Higgins assuming he might have a big role in the offense right away. What's interesting too is there's like some big name players here you want to have signed. TreVeyon Henderson, if you're a Patriots fan, you want him getting every rep in training camp.
It's true, Dave.
You don't want to hold out there. Luther Burden, Tyler Shough. I think this is interesting because we have the NFL collusion information that's been going around too. Okay. And so the NFLPA came out, they sent a memo to all the players saying they support the current executive director of player personnel, Lloyd Howell Jr., who there was talk that maybe they could get him removed. He came over from another company that had some sort of scandal or embezzlement, or I forget what the fuck it was. But the NFLPA said, no, we're keeping this guy. We don't think any collusion happened, which is, for me, the timing is funny, where you have the NFLPA and the NFL saying, we didn't do a collusion. There was no collusion. But then you have basically what? 29, 30 teams all not willing to give their second round picks fully guaranteed contracts. And we're not talking about massive contracts for these guys, right? Like these aren't, because let's see here. Where's RJ Harvey? He's not signed yet either for the Broncos. And where's the tweet? Let me find the tweet here with the numbers on it. Did I like that tweet? Did I? Yeah, Zach Seegers. Okay, so RJ Harvey's entire contract is set to be worth $7.35 million over 4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So for like in the NFL, that's nothing. So to fully guarantee $7.35 million, that, and now given he's, at the end of the second round, but like that's nothing. So like I don't know what the holdup is for a team to give those guarantees.
So just to compare to like the end of the round and the first round. So Jahdae Higgins, the guy who got the fully guaranteed contract as the second pick in the second round, is getting $11 million.
Yeah.
So
nothing.
Like in terms of just like the NFL and some of these contracts that we're seeing, it's relatively low. I think for the NFL, the precedent's being set that if you start giving out fully guaranteed contracts, because that's the way that this has evolved, that you had in the first round, right? Originally, you only had a few guys within the first round that were actually getting fully guaranteed contracts. And that has gone on where there's a lot more players that are now getting fully guaranteed contracts, right? In the first round, they get the fifth-year options, the whole 9 yards. And thank you, Karakina, for the clarification. Yes, it's arbitration, not court. And there's some funky stuff that's going on with the arbitration as well, because yes, the union exec, he also consults with a private equity firm. And apparently the rumor is that, not rumor, excuse me, the thought was, at least that was in the article that I just read, was that he was raised by like a union family and like he's going to make sure that there's no conflict of interest, because the problem with that private equity firm is they're looking to buy a minority stake in NFL teams. So that's where there's kind of like, oh, that seems like a pretty big conflict of interest. But here for the NFL, when we're going on about this case, right, with the collusion issue, you already had owners being like, yeah, let's try to keep those guaranteed contracts down. And it's basically happening again right this second with the second round picks who are all sitting out. So yes, very interesting timing right now.
It's all based on Deshaun Watson's contract.
Yeah.
This whole collusion thing is because the Browns gave Deshaun $230 million guaranteed, and everybody else was like, whoa. You guys gave that to Deshaun? How the fuck am I going to justify not giving Lamar Jackson fully guaranteed money? Yeah. You asshole Browns. So Watson got that deal, and then no other quarterback got a fully guaranteed contract. This whole case from Pablo Torre and Mike Florio, was about them working together to make sure that the next quarterbacks didn't get fully guaranteed. And I think Justin Herbert was one of the quarterbacks in there mentioned. And it was like Spanos. Was it Herbert? Oh, it was Kyler Murray and Herbert, and how Bidwell and Spanos were talking to each other, basically saying, look, that's a nice contract. The guarantees aren't there. They can make it in the incentives. Like this is how we want to basically structure these deals, not the Deshaun Watson way. So that was part of it. And now you got all the second rounders holding out. And I hope they do. Like, dude, you can't guarantee $7.5 million for your running back, or like $11 million guaranteed for Jaden Higgins. That's nothing for a premium position too. Like,
yes. And again, like, but that's the thing is, right? I would assume that I don't agree with this, but like the thought process would be, all right, if we start guaranteeing, let's just say the first 10 picks in the second round are fully guaranteed contracts. Then next year, the 11th guy is going to be like, hey, where's my fully guaranteed contract?
No, that's why.
Yeah, no, that's 100% why. So Andrew, this was from ESPN. So the arbitrator ruled that there wasn't enough evidence of collusion, right? But that there was definitely conversations. And we pulled that up a few weeks ago in talking about, it was text between the owner of the Cardinals and the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. And they were talking about guaranteed contracts. And of course, the NFL owners meeting where they all meet and have conversations. But this story has now taken on, or has gotten more legs because last week that you heard the fact that, hey, maybe leadership in the NFLPA, there's not a whole lot of confidence with them. And let me just be very clear about the NFLPA. The NFLPA, their union dues are the same as the amount of the amount that Madden gives players for appearing in the Madden football games. So let's just say that the NFLPA is definitely not perfect. And you look at the last CBA and how much it hurts players that are holding out. Let's just say that there's room for improvement with the NFLPA.
No, they're cowards. They're weak. They have no power against the NFL. They've made nothing but concessions every collective bargaining agreement. Mm-hmm. And so like this is people asking why. And it's hard because the only players who can afford to actually say boycott and sit out a season are players who've already made a shit ton of money. Yeah. And that is a smaller percentage of players across the NFL than, I think most people realize.
Yeah, I agree. So this came out that maybe that there was some lack of faith with the leadership here. As members of the NFLPA executive committee, we categorically reject false reports insinuating doubts within this committee or suggestions that we have asked our executive director to step down. We further reject attempts to mischaracterize the committee's views or divide our membership. So you had basically the executive committee say, nope, our leadership is totally fine. Everything is all good. So the issue is that the Howell, who is like the guy in the NFLPA, he was working as a paid part-time consultant for this Carlyle group. And that's one of the private equity firms that are trying to buy or, have minority ownership in some teams in the NFL, which again, that is a pretty decent sized conflict of interest. And so the executive committee came out and said, no, there's no issues with the leader. There's no fire. There's nothing to see here. There's nothing wrong. But I am very curious of seeing like what actual players think. There's a little doubt in there. A little bit.
I think
that he would do his due diligence though.
The next CBA, they've got to get rookie deals guaranteed at least through half the draft. I think where it becomes an issue is right. You're drafting guys in the later rounds, and then some of those guys don't make rosters, right? Some of those teams cut those players. So if you have them with fully guaranteed deals or whatever, that becomes kind of an issue. And you want teams to have the flexibility to, release those late round guys, some of them so they get opportunities in other situations. But the first 3 rounds, man, like there's no reason at the current rookie pay scale that they shouldn't be guaranteed. I also think rookies need to have big incentive bonuses in their deals as well. If they don't get better salary compensation through the first 4 years. Because right now the loophole in the NFL after they made the rookie pay scale is teams will draft and underpay these guys, and then they don't have to pay any of them unless they're insanely important to teams. So their earnings have been just limited through their first 4 years of their career, and we all know how short most player careers are. So
that's the issue, right? Especially if you want to go by position, right? You look at like running backs, for example, and it's like less than 3 years on average that they're actually in the NFL as a starter. So I get it from a player perspective, and like just full transparency, like I'm always going to be pro player, but from a player's perspective, it makes sense that, hey, I want to get more money. And this relates now again, this ties into what's going on with the second rounders right now. You don't think that NIL is having like any impact on it? I think in terms of like not even just demonizing NIL, but I mean more of just, I think that standard or that thought process is not there anymore of I am not making any money unless I'm like a significant, collegiate player. I'm not making any money during my college career. So because of that, the first time, I mean, how many stories have we seen that were like praised as like these heartwarming stories of like, oh man, this player had to hold down 8 jobs and, try to get here and couldn't afford the flight to get to, where to go sign all this stuff. And now has signed a few $1 million. Now that might not be the case for everybody who have been being paid in college. And so now it's like, well, now I can hold out at least a little bit and I'm not going to sign because I want to get fully paid.
Yeah.
And again, fully guaranteed contracts have always been a contentious point in the NFL.
I think the NIL might just keep a guy in college for another year. Like, he's like, look, but like most of the big NIL deals are guys who are going to go in the first round. They're going to get paid. But like, if you can stay in college and make more for another year of college football on an NIL deal, because you're not going to get drafted till say the third round. I think you stay, but
but I think it's like I'm not as desperate for money anymore, right? If I want to make sure it's not like, oh, thank you so much NFL team for giving me money when I played football for free all these years. It's now like, no, I want to make sure, because dude, it's not like there's 5 players that are holding out or even 10. 30 freaking players who have not signed. That is a lot of people. And honestly, good on them, man. There's strength in numbers.
Here's the one caveat, because I was trying to figure out like why Jahdae Barron and RJ Harvey weren't signed yet. And one thought is that like a lot of teams, they're just getting back to business. So like,
sure,
this is the time where like NFL, your general managers, your like everybody's on vacation right now, basically is the idea. And now with training camp coming up, business is going to start speeding up. And some of these contracts are probably not issues. They've been just working out minor details and they'll get done pretty quickly. So you could see a lot of these guys sign through the course of this next week or so. That might be one part of it. But like, if you're looking at the second round, like the craziest one right now is like, if you're the Saints and Tyler Shough still not signed his deal, you're like, okay, who's going to be we need our quarterback here, like all the time, as much as possible. Everybody else, you're like, okay, yeah, we can, if our running back's missing a little bit of time, that's fine. But, with the Broncos, with Jahdae Barron, because it's only Jahdae Barron and Shemar Stewart. They're the only first rounders who haven't signed. And the last reports were that Barron, they'll get the deal done. They're just working through language and all that shit. But that was, a few days ago, and the other report was like a week or 2 ago. So hopefully the Broncos get that done. I don't know what the holdup would be. But yeah, you want all the rookies in your camps too. That's the other part of it. You really don't want any of these guys missing a single fucking day.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to digest as a rookie. And if you've got, say, all 30 of these guys still not signed in 2 weeks or whatever, and they're all missing time, which I don't think will happen, it's not the biggest deal, but it's a thing.
It's a thing. I mean, and because again, this is also going to have future ramifications on future drafts, right? If you have fully guaranteed money that's starting to go into the second round, like it's just going to keep on going down. And like I said, even if you have the first 10 guys who are given fully guaranteed contracts, the 11th guy drafted in the second round next year is going to be like, hey, I want a fully guaranteed contract. And depending on the team, that might happen. But now, like you even have next year, the first 2 picks in the second round, I would be shocked if they don't have fully guaranteed contracts because now the precedent's there, right? Like they did it this year. It's the first time ever that this has happened in the second round. And so I will say, like, there is a huge strength in numbers, for these players who, again, have not signed yet. So, like, they are not beholden to anybody. And because this came out with the Shemar Stewart thing, right? Theoretically, they could say, no, I'm not going to play and go into the draft again next year. Their value is probably going to go down a little bit because, they just basically just had a nothing year. But I'm very curious of like where the breaking point is, either for teams and or players, for them to finally concede and go, either we're going to give you more money or more guaranteed money, or players are going to be like, listen, I need to start making money and playing football. It's interesting though. And again, with the collusion case going on at the same time, it's just very interesting timing.
You did a collusion. No, we didn't do no collusion.
Well, Xavier, it makes sense.
Please,
that,
God. This would make my
oh my God
year. If we had the first guy to go back into the draft,
that'd be something. That'd be something. But to this point, Xavier, it makes sense that Saquon would say this too, right? I mean, Saquon is a running back, which is often the most highly discarded player positional group, in the NFL of like, we get a few good. I mean, look at James Cook right now, right? Had a really good year last year and is like, hey, can I get money now? And they're like, no. And so he's got to be there because, again, if you sit out and have already signed a contract, you have no leverage. You have no power unless you are making tens of millions of dollars. But if you're on your rookie deal, like you are getting charged like tens of thousands of dollars per day sitting out. And on top of that, it doesn't advance your contract anymore. So if you sit out for a year and you're already under contract, guess what? It's not like a year of your contract is now, all right, well, that year passed. Nope, you're still under contract still. So it's good. Like I said, it's good. I understand why it's happening. Because if you're a player, you're just like, hey, this is my only shot to make money. So I want at least fully guaranteed contracts, which are a staple in other leagues. I think that this particular sport in the NFL, the injury risks are higher. So it makes sense why NFL players want to get paid fully guaranteed contracts and why owners will be like, we don't want to do that because the risk of injury is more potentially than some other leagues, let's say.
I see no injury risk in the NFL.
No, it's a very light sport.
Yeah, and look, Saquon and Derrick Henry both switched teams and played for dog shit deals. Mm-hmm. And then they both were insane, and they both got new contracts that are more on par for where they should be. So we'll see if that continues with running backs moving forward. But what, Johnny? What targeted ad? I was thinking yesterday I should start a second channel just called Boomer Sports.
Ooh.
And it's an AI channel, and it's like an old angry man just yelling about football things. Yeah, all AI. Mm-hmm. Oh, get on the AI bandwagon, coward. Coward.
I'll never touch it.
AI is already using you.
Good.
AI is already in you, bro.
Hope it
you don't even know if you're real anymore, Tom.
Red Duck. Yeah. So the Cleveland Browns, and this actually, like, these stories all feed into one another because Judkins is a second round pick, right? So I'll pull up this story here.
It happened to their second rounder last year, right?
Let me put this in here.
Browns 2024 second round pick.
Please hold.
What was his name? What's that? Let's see here.
Okay. Let's zoom in here.
Was it Michael Hall?
On the eyes here. All right. So Judkins was arrested on Saturday and charged with touch or strike battery / domestic violence. This was in Florida. So he's now pending trial on a misdemeanor charge. Apparently the NFL knows about this. That's what they said in the next line. We are aware of the matter, but will decline further comment. And so the way that this also feeds into what we've been talking about is because if Judkins, who is able to play after this, right, he may be more willing to take a contract. Now, I will say, I don't think Judkins deciding to sign a contract is going to cause an avalanche of other players in the second round to also sign, because now this is an exceptional case because there's other issues that are afoot. So I'm very curious to see when these signings are going to happen, because dude, like you said, what if we are sitting here in 2 weeks and you still have a bulk of second round players who have not signed? Like, that is going to create a problem. I'm just sitting here with popcorn waiting to see what happens, because
this almost a very similar thing happened last year with the Browns. Mike Hall Jr. was their second round draft pick. He was arrested on August 13th following an alleged altercation with his fiance in Ohio. So, like, second year in a row, their second round pick arrested for a similar charge.
They say battery was determined to have taken place, and they made contact with the suspect, and then he was transported to the county main jail.
For years now, my brother and I are going to be starting our own sports podcast show. Any advice on avoiding copyright for NFL clips? Thanks for the inspiration.
I don't use them because the NFL, it's finicky. Like, there's ways that you can try and like get around it, of like
they gonna get you. They gonna get you
screen or what have you. But like, Perna's dealt with this too. Like, it might be years, and then they'd be like, you know what? Let's demonetize this. So
you'll make the NFL money. Just don't use clips. Be so good you don't need clips.
Yeah, I avoid clips just because it's a pain in the ass for
show your wiener. Do community violations instead.
Perna, you got the video. That's great. I'm so glad they gave you $50 for the advice of show your wiener.
Show your wiener, Giuseppe. That was for me? They gave me $50?
Yeah, it was for me.
Well, first thing, here's my first bit of advice. Don't give people like me your money. You want to be successful? Take that $50, save it up, get a decent mic. You guys want good mics? You can stream on any platform, use any software to stream, whatever to do your video, just have good audio.
Good budget mic, sure. SM58. That's the first one I started out with. Good mics.
Yeah. Figure out what you're really good at talking about. What do you know the most about? Doing the whole NFL to start is tough.
It's a lot.
Niche down to a team or to an angle,
division or a conference, or
yeah. Hey, my thing's quarterbacks. I know about quarterbacks, or do it that way.
But yes,
some of that advice was helpful, and don't forget to show your wiener.
In terms of clips, though, I mean, there's plenty of ways that you could try to get around it, but none of them are going to be foolproof. So just decide very early on if you want to use clips and deal with that potential problem, or don't. Yeah. It's easier to do it without, and then just using like images. Like, still images are fine. Like, I have found that you don't get tagged for those at all. But any audio usually gets flagged pretty early. And then visuals, the NFL will come after you.
What never gets flagged is this.
Okay, now he hasn't gotten any treatment from the medical staff, but he was on his left hip. He had a softball.
Just keep it quick.
I tell you, done. Yeah, Andrew, King Andrew, it happens. It happens. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta show the piggies. That's it. You just gotta do it. Speaking of new contracts and all that great stuff, Jauan Jennings wants a new contract or wants to be traded. Jauan Jennings, who very good on third downs and usually is their go-to guy. What is his current contract? I thought, because this is not the first time this has happened, right? I thought this was.
You're gonna have to be way more specific, Sam.
Let's see.
Yeah, Jauan Jennings said he wants an extension, or he wants to be traded. I think he sees a little opportunity. He has some leverage right now because Brandon Ayuk's recovering from his ACL. Jauan Jennings, probably the best receiver on their roster at this point. That's not a tight end.
Sure do.
But there's a handful of free agent receivers available. I think he's got a window and they're trying to capitalize on it.
Because
the Niners have paid they've either released a few guys this year. Everybody else they fucking paid. So he's like, hey.
So that's what I was talking about. He did get a new contract. So he signed a 2-year extension. So it was a $15.39 million contract, and it was $8.435 million guaranteed. Right. So now he's on the final year of his deal. He's an unrestricted free agent next year. He's 28 years old this year. And so he's making like a deep, but it's like you said, he has leverage right now based on the state of the 49ers. They paid a ton of people, and he has been like productive for them. And he's been like a reliable receiver. So I imagine like how much can Quinshon Jennings really cost? Right. Like, I think this might be one of those scenarios of like, hey, you got to pay the guy.
What's he want? 12 mil a year? 15?
And that's what honestly, maybe the Falcons just found out that Kirk Cousins is a serial killer, something that we have known for years.
Yeah.
And they're just like, maybe we shouldn't, be starting this guy. I don't know. That's what the people are saying.
I don't know if Kirk really got shafted. I love Kirk Cousins, but I have no sympathy for that situation. He also was just not good when he was playing. I think that's what's getting left out at this moment in that show, and I haven't watched it yet, but Kirk was not good. We forget
he was hurt, and he was like he wasn't great. No,
he was not good. Sorry, Perna.
That's a great comment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I
go to pay for my gutters, and they're like, that money actually never got into your account, young man. I will be referring to myself as young man now, Tom.
So we're just blatantly lying now, or?
Yeah, I was up at the park with Carmi yesterday, shooting some baskets, shooting some b-ball. Holy shit, Andrew!
King Andrew, what a hundo!
Oh, guess what, Andrew? There will be a Manscaped ad in today's episode. I can do 1 million, my friend. I can do 1 million.
I feel like that really is your calling.
Dude,
Manscaped
I don't know,
ads.
like the fact that Manscaped hasn't just decided to buy my YouTube channel at this point is beyond me. 7 straight years with Manscaped, I think.
Johnny John
Andrew, you sneaky son of a gun. I was at the park shooting hoops, right?
That's a great name.
Carmi's doing monkey bars. I'm draining threes left and right.
Are you though?
The crowd's going wild.
Is there a crowd?
Yeah, but there was some kids up there playing. They're playing basketball. And I think they were recording it. I don't know what the hell they were doing. It felt a little performative, but they were talking very loudly to each other. And at one point, I think one of them was older than the rest. And there was 3 of them. And I kept hearing them say, should we go ask that old guy if he wants to play 2-on-2? And at first, I was like, fuck, they're talking about me as the old guy. I'm the old guy. Want to go see if that other old guy wants to play? I got out of there before they even came over and asked. Like, we got to go.
You're like, I'm running away from these children.
And the sad part is, I was like, you know what? I don't want to play 2-on-2 because I am an old guy. I don't dribble and run. I just like shooting. Oh, let's see if that old guy wants to play.
You're a stationary player.
I was like, right? Where's the old man?
That's
tough.
I mean
me. Yeah, that was a tough one.
All right, how young were they? Were they like teenagers?
Well,
or they 20s?
2 of them were teenagers.
Okay.
And then one of them, I'm not sure.
Because that's what I'm saying. If they're like 13 years old, then it makes sense, right? Then it's just like, okay.
Yeah, the one saying that I feel like was not a teenager. But I couldn't tell.
Oh, so it was an older person who looked over and was like,
that's what was even worse. But
happens.
Anyway.
That's tough. That's all right. How's the ego feeling?
It takes blows every day.
Yeah, it's
just
tough,
fucking
man.
punch after punch in my gut.
I feel that.
God.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. But hey, you're a man. You're
Come
40.
on, guys, they were up to no good. They wanted me to play 2-on-2 b-ball.
Ashley, what a fake! For the kitty. 52 days till kickoff. But who's counting? Every day. Fully guaranteed contract. We would love fully guaranteed contracts. Fully guaranteed contracts would be so nice.
Yeah.
So nice in the workplace. And it's here. Let me ask you this, Perna. Do you think in our lifetime, some might be a little longer than others?
You saying I'm close to death?
I'm just saying you have. I don't know, man. If I keep doing like 30 and 30, I might die just earlier than you. Just my back feels like I'm going to die. Do you think in our lifetime we see fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL across the board?
No,
I don't.
No,
I don't.
No, especially if they're keeping whoever this dude is in charge. Howell.
Yeah.
No. They need like like if Pat McAfee ever became head of the NFLPA, maybe. Mm-hmm. I think Chris Long has been pretty outspoken. Yeah. They need like somebody who's going to actually defend the players. Because the NFLPA is not great at it.
No, I mean, again, it's like you said, they've given up so many concessions and that have actively helped owners in terms of like holding out, players that are holding out like with contracts. And again, it's just
there's too much of a risk for the players to achieve what they want to achieve. I don't think they'll ever. One, I don't think they have the balls to actually leverage the NFL. But two, like I said, you've got so many guys who cannot afford to like strike and miss a season. Unless the richest of the richest players put together a pool of money to pay all those guys. Be like, all right.
So that's why this situation is interesting, because right now, and maybe I'm really off base here, the teams don't really have a lot of leverage because they haven't signed a contract yet. Talking about these second round players. So like they are not beholden to the team. So the worst case scenario for these players is they don't make money this year and then they go back into the draft. Right? Like that's the worst case scenario here. And you mentioned the Saints right now who drafted a quarterback in the second round who is very likely to start this year. You look at, there's a lot of second round players that when they are drafted, they're expected to get some starting time. And so like, this is not like the fourth round or the fifth round, right? It's like, these are players that you expect to see on the field this year. And so like right now, the players have the leverage, and the fact that there's 30 of them that are sitting out and saying, nope, we want close to fully guaranteed money or fully guaranteed deals. That's why I do think like NIL makes a difference, even just in a change of mindset of like, hey, like I was making money, so I'm not as, obviously every single player is going to be different, but I'm not as desperate, to make all of this money for the, because it's not the first time I've made money playing football. So
the only person who could fix this for the players right now might be Donald Trump, Tom.
Oh, let's see where this goes.
He's got a grudge against the NFL.
Not being able to own a team.
Yeah. Because I think like in the big beautiful bill, there was like something in there that kind of affected NFL teams or something. I don't know. I didn't read the article. I think the players need to call Trump and get him on their side.
He's probably going to try to hold up their trophy too.
He puts tariffs on the NFL owners just for being owners. NFL owner tariffs to avoid those tariffs. Guaranteed contract for the players.
Thank you, Captain. It got pulled.
That's how you do it.
Ashley, this is for you. And also for me.
No! Make him come. No! They're Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
He's the only one that can save them. That's why they're screwed.
Teach him media literacy. Gamblers impacted by that. That's true. Rachel makes all those cursed logos. She does an excellent job every single year.
Yes, NATO, thanks for spreading the love. We have been doing new ones every year. Rachel just finished up the newest batch, and they are exquisite.
Beautiful.
They're beautiful.
Hey, Nick, what's going on? Appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you. We're rocking. Oh, also the last one in terms of contracts, I mentioned this briefly. Kansas City about Trey Smith. So he's either going to play on the franchise tag and get a whole bunch of money, or he's going to get a long-term deal. But they have to make a decision today. Right? It's today, I believe. Oh no, so I'm sorry. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's usually Tuesdays. So yes, tomorrow.
What Trump says, I'm going to release the Epstein list. There's 32 names on it. And it's just all NFL owners.
Hey,
that's how he leverages.
It'll only be 31 because there's ownership. Let's go, baby, Packers!
And he's like, every Packers owner also on the list.
I was gonna ask, what are we gonna see first, the Epstein files or fully guaranteed contracts? And it's close. It's close. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Oh my god, that's how the Packers ownership gets away. Hey, that's right. Albany Firebirds undefeated. 72 Dolphins. People are talking. It might just be Rose, but people are talking.
Is that the Firebirds? That's the one that
Antonio Brown one tried to ruin. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got rid of AB and they're like, look, we're good again. Yeah. We're good again. Dude, what I really want is Antonio Brown to run an NFL franchise.
Like the Chiefs.
Oh my God.
That's the team that you want. I'm like, well, let's be very clear. You want to see him run specific teams.
Not my team.
No.
But I would like to watch that for just 2 years. He gets to run a team for 2 years. And let's just see what happens.
Damn too. There we go.
Let's just see what happens.
Why not? Yeah,
he's still out of the country with an arrest warrant out for his arrest for attempted murder. We've forgotten that he's wanted for attempted murder.
To be fair,
holy shit.
I try not to think about Antonio Brown on a daily basis.
Is he ever coming back to the States? I don't know.
Warlike, yeah, so that's what we were talking about. I would not be surprised because I think that there's just a little bit more. So here's the thing too. If you're a collegiate player right now seeing this, like, let's play this out. Let's say the first 15, right, players in the second round, let's just cut it right in half, 16. First 16 players in the second round, they get fully guaranteed contracts, right? Let's just make that the cutoff. That's going to progress every single year until you're likely going to see the majority of second round players. It might take a few years who are going to get fully guaranteed contracts, just like it was the first round, because it was only a handful of players. They got fully guaranteed money, and now a lot more players. Here, I think if you are playing in college, there is also going to be that, oh, well, if I go and get more money in college, not only am I making more money, but two, that also can set me up for the future that if I go to a team that I'm not super happy with the contract, I can kind of fall back on some of the money that I've made. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there is a little bit of a power shift that is going to players right now, because like I said, until they put pen to paper, they have a good amount of leverage if they are able to afford, if they're able to afford sitting out for a year.
Sure. Here's what NFL players, this is what the NFL needs to do. They need NIL money in high school. We need to get high school players played and college players played. So by the time they get to the NFL, they don't even care about money anymore. It's for the love of the game. They've made their coin in high school and college, and now they can play on team-friendly, cheap rookie deals. I want high school students running the classroom. I want them making so much more money than their teachers. That's easy. I'm not doing this chemistry assignment, Mr. Decker. You can eat my butt. And then they just throw out $70,000 in cash. Oh, this should cover me for the rest of the year.
Well, if they're getting paid $70,000 in cash, then they've made more money than I ever did as a teacher. So, like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just throw around crazy money at their school.
Yeah. NFL, the owners are saying, cool, I won't sign you. Then they go back into the draft. And like, is there going to be, let's just say, I'm going to use a first round player. Let's just say Shemar Stewart goes into next year's draft. Is there going to be, are there going to be text messages between owners? Don't draft Shemar Stewart. What I want to see is Shemar Stewart hold out, go into the draft next year, and the Bengals just draft him again. And this just happens every single until they eventually sign or he's 45 years old.
I mean, that would be great for the collusion case. Yeah. No team would draft him and they let him go to the Bengals.
Yep.
And the Bengals, of course, will be picking 17th overall
the
again.
entire time.
Exact same spot.
Oh, did they release him? Oh, hold on.
Did who get released?
Tom Pelissero, hold on. Okay. So I didn't see. So Tom Pelissero tweeted out and said that the arrest report, accuser told police he punched her with a closed fist in the chin lip area and struck her in the left arm and thigh while they were in the car leaving the airport on July 7th. So, okay. So I don't see anything about a release, but I see that that's what the details are for the domestic violence or the battery. So
For
not
Judkins?
great. That's Judkins. Yeah. So again, there's also going to be a question mark if he even plays. Right? Because they might have to wait and see how this is going to play out. So, or he'll get suspended for a couple games like Ray Rice. I liked the new Superman movie. It was good. I think the pacing was really, really fast. And so some of the emotional like moments didn't hit as hard as they could because like they were cramming a lot in. But I think like they did right by Superman. He's very true to the character, I think. In my humble opinion.
If the Browns release him, Judkins will just get signed by the Chiefs. So don't do it.
Okay. All right, so let's put this here. Hey, that's true. I have not, but I heard it, and the soundtrack was very, very good. It was very, very good. So it's on the list. It's just there's no time for anything right now.
No time.
Yes, I don't think anyone would ever want AB. Like, listen, think about the worst owner in the NFL right now, currently. So you're looking at who you're looking at. Looking at Panthers, right? Probably up there a little bit.
Jimmy Haslam.
Yeah, Haslam's up there a little bit. Would still be a million times better than Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think any NFL owner could get on AB's level.
I don't think we're getting either. God's butt monkey. I can see second rounders getting fully, like I can see progression in my lifetime. Like I could see maybe what Perna's talking about, like the first 3 rounds. By the time I'm like, 70, I could see that. But the ownership is going to try and not do this for as long as humanly possible. They are really going to push back against fully guaranteed contracts. I mean, dude, like look at Brock Purdy and the 49ers, dude. He took you to a Super Bowl, right? Like legitimately, and got paid like, was $1 million as the last pick. There's value in that.
Yeah. I believe there were water boys on the team making more money than Brock Purdy.
Probably. Yep. I mean, there's some high schools that are like also insane too. So, dude, I mean, and that's the thing, maybe, right? Like this is the story that you could apply to every single thing that's going on with ownership, to fields, to contracts. NFL owners just want to keep on making more money, right? And just taking as much money as humanly possible. Yeah. And so there are owners that are better than others and then like provide like, the really good state of the art stadiums and programs, like all that great stuff, and do right by their players and don't make them pay for cafeteria food. But there's some that are not so. Hey, Guillermo, got our kidney transplant? Okay, everything's going well. Hell yeah. Guillermo?
Yeah, Guillermo. I was just trying to type to you.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Ooh, Perna, you go to Circus Olay. Huh?
I'm an usher with Cirque du Soleil. We're in Denver. You should come see the show. It's right by Empower Field. Ooh, you know what? Cirque du Soleil is. We saw one of their shows in Vegas. It was like their water show. It was pretty tight. How long's it running for?
They've been on dope shows.
Yeah, that stuff, like, if you ever get a chance to see that, I recommend it.
Yeah. So that's very fair. That's very fair. Yeah, Snyder is just like, he's still hiding somewhere in the corner. Rose, I mean, if you want motivation, you don't even have to look any further, right? Perna. Oh, hon, it's running until August 17th, Perna.
Oh.
August 17th.
Sick. Thank you, Derek. Now, can you get me backstage?
I think so. Yeah.
The NFL Honors? Was Cirque du Soleil at NFL Honors?
Yeah, remember because it was that was Vegas, right?
Vegas.
Yeah, that was that was
Vegas.
years ago. Yeah, last year, whatever it was. Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
We have our the real reason these guys are still free agents episode. Do it every
okay.
July. Bunch of vets, unsigned. That'll be dropping today.
Nice.
Got a Saquon Barkley short we posted over the weekend. Please go watch that. My shorts are just doing dog shit right now. Maybe because I haven't posted one in 2 months, but still.
Yeah, no, it's you never know with these things. What's the Broncos record this year, Perna?
11-6.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. I might have a video out today. Sorry, I'm moving in 2.5 weeks, so things are a little crazy.
What?
But I can announce this week. I can't give you the day yet. Coach season 6 will premiere.
Ooh.
So, there you go, Sam. Perfect timing.
Maybe I'll start season 4 today. I don't know.
You have to watch the West Saga first.
Oh yeah, Adam's supposed to come over today. What time should I tell him to come over?
You say that you should have already been here.
No, I don't want him over here now.
You don't say Mr. Window. That's it.
Yeah.
It's too late. The lore. Yeah, so that'll be coming out. I got a few videos I need to get done, but again, we're moving in 2.5 weeks, so things are a little crazy right now. Just a bit. But I'll see Perna on Sunday in person. We'll have a live GPS on Monday in person, so that will be...
I'm seeing Tom and Adam in the same week. Look at that. Lucky me. I'm such a lucky boy.
Technically next week, so...
Whatever. Within a week's period.
There you go. But folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you Wednesday, maybe?
Yeah, we should be here Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday. Folks, I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. That's GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've got your gutters fixed.
So is it just